What's going on, guys? Messi here and welcome to a brand new video, and welcome to your daily dose of transfer gossip. And today is going to be Monday the 15th of July, got confirmed deals to go through as well as the rumours. So just before we get started, if you could do that good stuff by leaving a like rating, press the subscribe button if you're new, and press the bell notification next to it so you never miss an upload. Yes, this episode will be down below in the description box, and current schedule every day at 8 AM UK time is a new transfer upload. And finally, in the comment section below, what was the first FIFA you ever played? Right then, let's jump into confirmed deals, and first up we've got Gallagher. He's rejoined Blackburn Rovers on a permanent basis now after a loan spell previously, and he's from Southampton for a fee of £5 million, and he's also signed a 4-year contract. Even Cavallero has gone to the Championship side Fulham from Wolves now on a loan deal for the season. There's also an option to buy for the Craven Cottage side. I haven't seen how much the option to buy is, but I imagine we'll find out very soon. And in regards to his previous spell in the Championship, of what I'm aware of, it is pretty successful. Next up we've got Murillo. He's joined Sampdoria from Valencia on a loan deal for €2 million. There's also an obligation to buy next summer for 12 mil. He signed a 4-year contract until 2023, and from January to the end of last season, he's playing for Barcelona. A player that was very close to going to West Ham last week is Maxi Gomez, but now the Uruguayan striker has officially joined Valencia from Celta Vigo in a €14.5 million deal. But it's not just cash, because Valencia also sent Santi Mina to Celta Vigo, and that was for an undisclosed fee. He signed a 5-year contract until 2024, and he's now got a release clause of €140 million. And the Santi Mina deal, just like I mentioned before, he's gone back to Celta Vigo from Valencia at an undisclosed fee. The fee that West Ham were paying for him was like €45 million, but it broke down because of instalments. And you can probably work out somewhat, take off 14.5 mil, and you might have the fee there for Santi Mina. Inter have confirmed that Icardi has mutually agreed not to travel with the rest of the squad for their pre-season tour of Asia, and instead will now leave the club's training base in Switzerland and return to Milan. There's a lot of speculation over his future that he's not really in the plans for next season, and it's been confirmed that he's not, and he's also on the transfer market. He has been linked to likes of Juventus, Napoli, but as of right now, the clubs that are interested, it's gone a bit quiet. Arsenal have returned with an improved bid of £25 million for Celtic left-back Kieran Tierney, that's according to Sky Sports. The Gunners had a bid of £15 million rejected by the Scottish champions 3 weeks ago, and the player is currently under contract until 2023. But alongside Arsenal is interest there from Napoli, but Arsenal are trying to get a deal done now. Atletico Madrid have made a breakthrough in their efforts to sign Napoli defender Husai, that's according to Mundo Deportivo. Napoli's elevated asking price for the Albanian international initially frustrated talks with Atletico, who are desperate to reinforce their right side of defence this summer. That's after losing Juanfran on a free. But the Italians have now shown signs there to accept a fee of around €20 million for Husai, which is closer to the valuation of the player at the Wanda Metropolitano. They have been linked to likes of Kieran Trippier as well, but it now seems the Napoli right back is their favourite option. West Ham want to replace Marco Arnautovic with Frankfurt hitman Sebastian Haller, that's according to L'Equipe in France. The 25-year-old French striker was initially unconvinced by the move and hopeful of a move to a Champions League side instead, but since then has softened his stance and is now considering a move to the Premier League side. A reported agreement has been reached between Frankfurt and West Ham for a fee of €40 million or £35.9 million. And if he can repeat the form that he showed for Frankfurt in the Bundesliga and the Europa League last season, I think it'll be an incredible signing for West Ham and definitely ones to watch for next season. Manchester United target Harry Maguire has asked Leicester to allow him to leave the club this summer, that's according to the Daily Mail. The Foxes had been confident of keeping hold of their star defender, but are thought to be willing to allow him to leave now that his feelings have been made clear. And Brendan Rodgers will be backed by their club to sign a replacement, the likes of Lewis Dunk and also James Tarkowski linked. They'd get a fee of around £75 million or upwards, so it's safe to say whoever they bring in, the club might demand a higher fee. And another story that came out during the day yesterday, again about Harry Maguire this time, according to Duncan Castles and a lot of different outlets. They said Manchester United have agreed an £18 million fee with Leicester for Harry Maguire. It's £60 million up front with £20 million in add-ons, and the medical is scheduled for today. Another update about De Ligt's potential move to Juventus is up next, and Ajax have confirmed he's been left out of their pre-season tour of Austria, as a move to Juventus appears to have moved a step closer. The Serie A champions have now agreed a deal of €70 million with Ajax for the centre-back, who is also wanted by Paris Saint-Germain and Barcelona. And Gazzetta dello Sport report the fee has been agreed, as well as a huge €150 million release clause. Like I mentioned in yesterday's episode though, the transfer itself should be confirmed now in the next couple of days, and it might even be done by now. If it is, I'll cover it later on in the episode. Attacking midfielder Rodolfo Pizarro is wanted by a number of clubs, including Italian giants AC Milan. That's according to Sky Sports Italy. The 25-year-old, currently playing for Monterrey, has 19 international caps to his name and also started for Mexico as they won the Gold Cup final against the USA last week. Roma have made contact with Serie A rivals Milan over a transfer for Spanish winger Suso, according to Calciomercato. The former Liverpool player is thought to be keen on extending his current contract at the San Siro, but Roma have inquired about what sort of fee would be needed to prize him away from his current employers. Roma don't want to offer more than €30 million, so the deal itself could depend on how much AC Milan want, and I believe his release clause is closer to 40 mil. Calciomercato IT are saying Liverpool are working on bringing Felipe Coutinho back to Anfield. The Reds have tabled a 2-year loan deal with an option to buy set at £88 million. The midfielder has given his approval on the move, although the offer doesn't attract Barca, who'd prefer to sell. And they also claim that Barca would rather use him as part of the deal to bring Neymar back to the new camp, and his agents also said that he would not consider a move to a Premier League rival. And his agent also mentioned that Barca have told him he's not going anywhere, but the rumours that keep popping up, they're not sure why they keep happening. Juventus goalkeeper Matteo Perin is close to securing an exit to Benfica this summer, that's according to Gianluca Damasio. With Gianluigi Buffon's return, Perin is looking for a chance to play regularly next season, which would increase his odds to feature in the next summer's Euros. A deal is now close with the goalkeeper, and the fee, it will be a loan deal initially for the season, and the next summer there's an obligation to buy for €15 million. I could be wrong, but I think that's actually profit for Juventus, because last year they bought him for around 10 mil and now selling him for 15. And next up, according to Sky Sport, they're saying Tottenham's Kieran Trippier is on the shortlist of right-back targets for Bayern Munich. He did struggle last season, but he's still attracting interest from top sides in Italy, Spain, and now Germany. Apparently Spurs are willing to sell him, and the likes of Napoli, Atletico, and now Bayern have shown interest. It'd be interesting to see where he ends up next season. And now moving on according to Corriere dello Sport, they're saying Spurs officials are set to meet with Roma to discuss the possible transfer of Nicolo Zaniolo. They claim the two clubs will hold talks over a possible €45 million deal, which would also see Toby Alderweireld join Roma. While the Belgian has reportedly agreed to the switch, there could be a slight hitch in the exchange, because Zaniolo would prefer to move to Juventus over Spurs. Tottenham might not have bought a player for like 500 days plus before this transfer window, but if they get all their targets before deadline day, it could be one of the best transfer windows in recent times. Arsenal have made an offer for Nicolas Otamendi, but the Argentine has his heart set on a return to Valencia. The defender looks to be on his way out of Manchester City, with Atletico Madrid and PSG also keen to sign him. However, according to Super Deporte in Spain, Otamendi is ignoring all interest and is adamant on returning to the Mestalla. The wording for this next article is pretty harsh, but some people may agree and some people may disagree. But Goal.com are saying PSG are considering taking Chelsea flop Bakayoko on loan. And of course, things didn't work out for him at all at Chelsea in his first season. But before that for Monaco, he is great, and he's pretty solid for AC Milan last year. He has said multiple times in interviews that in the future he can see himself playing for Paris Saint-Germain, and he was also born in Paris. And despite not working out the first time round at Chelsea, I think potentially because of the transfer ban being there, he might be offered a second chance kind of thing under Frank Lampard. He might impress during pre-season, and a move to PSG could be off the table if he does. And now we have got Nabil Fekir, who featured yesterday, and now we've got a very short update from Le Parisien. They're saying Fekir is close to joining Real Betis on a 5-year contract for around €30 million. The Spanish side do see him as a potential replacement for Lo Celso, who still right now is a target for Tottenham, but even if he stays, Fekir can still join. The Daily Mail are saying Bayern will not give up their interest on signing Callum Hudson-Odoi, and they're expected to make a new £45 million bid this week. And that total is still about £10 million more than they offered back in January. The final bid on deadline day was believed to be £35 million, but the bid started at around 13. Chelsea will definitely try to ignore any type of bid for him, as they see him as a potential integral part of their future, but the fact that Bayern is still so persistent, it means that Chelsea run the risk of losing him on a free next year. His contract is expiring and there's talks for a new deal in place, but if he doesn't sign that, from January onwards, he could speak to Bayern and agree a pre-contract deal. And now we have a few stories about Nicola Pepe and apparent move to Arsenal. So TF1 on Saturday said Arsenal have bid €80 million for Pepe, but the player's preference is still a move to Paris Saint-Germain. But a Lille source on the viability of Pepe joining PSG this summer does say, "I see zero chance of it happening." But then BBC denied the Arsenal bid, saying Arsenal can't afford it and Pepe doesn't really want to make the move. And then L'Équipe insisted that on Thursday Arsenal did make an offer of €80 million to Lille and it would be paid in several instalments. But that's not really anything new. Most massive transfers nowadays aren't paid up front, it's in multiple different payments. And despite his preference being Paris Saint-Germain, they can't actually afford him unless they sell Neymar, and right now the Neymar situation is very strange. And next up, according to Marca, they said Atletico Madrid appeared to have stolen a march on Napoli as they near the transfer of James Rodriguez from Real Madrid. James wants to remain in the Spanish capital over moving to Naples, and Atletico are fond of him, with Los Blancos the only obstacle to a deal now. He's not in Zidane's plans for next season whatsoever, so the potential of him staying at Real Madrid are very slim, if any at all, and they're now looking to sell a Colombian playmaker for around €40 million. And Napoli, they were favourites for a long time, but Carlo Ancelotti has said very recently that talks with Real Madrid, it could take a very long time. But that, guys, is going to be it for this video. So if you could do that good stuff by leaving a like rating, press the subscribe button if you're new, and press the bell notification next to it so you never miss an upload. Yes, this episode will be down below in the description box, and current schedule every day at 8 AM UK time, it's a new transfer episode. And finally, in the comment section below, what was the first FIFA you ever played? So thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.